Hello everyone, it's Mattia here for a new crowdfunding coaching video. Today I'm with Rumio Sato, a client of mine. We used to work together on his crowdfunding journey, and Rumio is a creator, is an inventor, and is also founder of Cloud9 and Unibottles kind of projects. And I decided to host him with this session with you all because he had a pretty interesting kind of experience in a different, I would say, platform for crowdfunding. In fact, Rumio applied for a Japanese crowdfunding platform and he managed to raise over $12,000 for his campaign. So we are here to discuss about all the particularities and different kind of characteristics of that kind of crowdfunding platform compared to the traditional ones. Ciao Rumio, how you doing?
Hi, Mattia. I'm very good.
I'm happy to have you here today and to have this conversation about these different kind of experience that you had on this crowdfunding journey. So can you tell us a little bit more of your crowdfunding experience and journey so far about your projects and how did you approach to these new crowdfunding platform called Makuake?
Okay. Yeah, actually, I did not approach it. They came to me.
Okay.
I was working on my Kickstarter campaign. I'm struggling to, accumulate big email list.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still there. But I have created a landing page for, accumulating emails. And also, I have created a web page in my website representing my upcoming campaign at
Okay.
Kickstarter.
Yeah, sure.
So actually, I was approached by 5 different entities, 4 Japanese. One was actually European. And they said, what are you going to do? When are you going to launch your campaign at Kickstarter, so and so, and all that. So I told the the Japanese parties, I'm not quite ready for Kickstarter because I'm still accumulating email list.
So you were still running the pre-launch phase
That's
for
correct.
the Kickstarter
I'm
one.
still am.
Okay.
And the all said that when they complete your Kickstarter campaign, please let us present your product in Japan. I said, sure, why not? And I asked him, what will cost me? They said nothing. It's not cost you anything. We'll do all that. Sorry.
Sure.
We cover all the expenses. We take care of the whole thing. And when this platform called Makuake has completed successfully, we can transfer the entire campaign to another platform called Campfire. And it's like a Kickstarter Indiegogo combo. And they said
Like the
that
Kickstarter Indiegogo in demand combo.
that's correct. That's correct.
They
And they said that
replicated a similar thing, I would say.
you got it. And
Okay.
when they all come together, we can even represent your product in Japanese market.
I
To
see.
Amazon, department stores. So we want to be your full representative in Japan, which has 125 million people, and they're all middle class. So,
I see. I see.
so I had nothing to lose. So, I said that's very interesting. So when I'm ready, completed with my Kickstarter campaign, I'll let you know. But in the meantime, one of 4 said that, do you have anything else? Do you have anything else?
Do you have anything else in terms of product? Do you have
Do you
a
have
different kind
any
of
other
product to present?
Because he said, I noticed that you have been in business for 5 years.
I
So
see. I
yeah, of
see.
course I do. I've been selling this. Let me show you.
Yeah, please tell us a little bit more of your projects and of your products, Rumio. I know I think that the users are going to be, all
Yeah,
the crowdfunders
you
out
can
there,
see
pretty
a
interesting.
bunch of products in the back.
Yeah, I noticed that. I noticed
Yeah,
that.
and
Appreciate that.
this is one of them.
Uh-huh. Yeah, please tell us a little bit more
Yeah,
of
this
of
is
your projects.
not for the crowdfunding. I will add it later as a accompaniment
Mm,
when I
mm-hmm.
launch campaign for this.
Mm, mm,
This
mm, mm.
Cloud9 Forever tumbler. I invented it, patent pending. It's one shot deal, glass
Mm-hmm.
cap, 100% plastic free. I'm really for it. And so they were really they're interested, not they're excited about my Forever tumbler. So one
Mm-hmm.
of them asked me, do you have anything else? I said, I have this.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Cloud9, 100% plastic free, infuser included bottle.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So, this particular thing, can make fruit water, coffee, anything. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
tea, whatever. So when I showed it to him, he said, "Yeah, I want to do that thing. I want to do it. How many do you have?" Because the way it works is that if you have a product already made,
Mm-hmm.
they want to know how many of them they can sell.
I see. I
Because
see.
if it exceeds the demand, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I have to make more, which takes time, right? Making, MOQ
So they
1000
want to
water.
be prepared
Absolutely,
for the
absolutely,
actual launch
absolutely.
in order to have a clear idea of how many pieces you can
Yeah.
supply for the actual campaign.
So
We are
so I
gonna
showed
hit that.
yeah.
Oh, so
So I
you
showed
show
this to
that too?
him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I have tendency to interfere when I get excited.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Please go
sorry.
ahead. Please go ahead
Yeah.
with the story. Yeah.
Anyway, so they liked it very much.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, sure. Let us do it. And initially, I have to sign the exclusive contract with them
Mm. Mm-hmm.
about this product. The beauty is that duration is starting from preparation for the crowdfunding Makuake campaign
Mm-hmm.
till they complete shipping this product to the people who already purchased it from the crowdfunding campaign.
Mm.
Beyond that, I have no obligation.
I
That's
see.
fantastic. It's not like, I want for your life. I want your life in Japan. It's not like that. They want to present this particular product, duration of campaign until it's shipped out. After that, it's a new negotiation.
Interesting.
I
Pretty
like that.
interesting.
I
Very
really like
interesting.
that.
So we're gonna talk a little bit more of these differences between the traditional and a traditional platform. But before that, I want to ask you also, what was, I would say, your experience with the traditional crowdfunding platforms before got approached by these Japanese
That's
um,
that's a good question.
teams.
That's a beautiful question because now completing my campaign in Japan
Mm-hmm.
and process I went through and comparing that, like you said, from Kickstarter, Indiegogo platform,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry to say this, they got so much respect for you.
Mm.
They have because they will not accept the product until they go through various tests if this particular product is actually approved, by Japanese guidelines, such as
Mm-hmm.
this particular one. I have to send 5 samples, which they purchased it from me.
Interesting.
They sent out these 5 samples for different, what do you call it thing, testing facility.
Yeah.
One was pressure test. If this particular product is in fact withstand the pressure of carbonated
Mm-hmm.
water, because this particular product, says that it's good for carbonated water. So they send
Incredible.
one unit to test facility for carbonated water. Another
Hmm.
one, they sent this particular product to test temperature duration, like hot, how long it stay hot, how long it stays cold.
Wow.
That kind of stuff.
Hmm.
And then they asked me to submit a document that actually the purchase this particular product from. It says where it's made,
Hmm.
how it's made.
I
So
see.
those three. It's so. I mean, it's so Japanese. They want to be
So,
so sure.
in order to recap that,
Yeah,
Rumio, you are telling us a little bit of how is different the
yeah.
acceptance kind of process for this platform called Makuake compared to, for example, another traditional one like Kickstarter or Indiegogo. So essentially, they are not gonna accept your product unless you are gonna prove
That's
what
correct.
you are gonna tell to the
That's
potential
correct.
backers.
That's
So for
correct.
example, if you're gonna describe your product with the specific kind of characteristics, they wanna prove themselves in first person before getting uh, your project approved on their platform,
That's
right?
correct.
Okay, that
That's
is
correct.
pretty interesting, and I personally love that kind of approach because, as you were anticipating, in this way you're gonna show a deep respect for the backer's money. Because if I'm gonna declare that my product can do something, the platform is gonna take the obligation and responsibility in the first instance before the backers. So
That's
they
correct.
have tested your product with the 5 different kind of phases before getting that accepted in the platform,
That's
right?
correct. That's
And
correct.
then they accepted your project only after have passed all these phases.
That's correct.
That's incredible. And
That's correct.
I think that this is a very serious way of running crowdfunding projects for new products because you are going to give a sort of guarantee to the backers that the product is doing what they pretend to do, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Something that
You're right.
actually sometimes is not gonna. Sometimes it's something that unfortunately happen with all crowdfunding for like traditional kind of platforms such Kickstarter, Indiegogo. Sometimes we can mention, for example, the coolest cooler, right? Like one of the
Sale.
most famous campaign and also one of the most famous failure of Kickstarter, right? So that is pretty interesting. So I'm curious to hear a little bit more of the differences between the two platforms. Can you tell us a little bit more of that,
Yeah.
Romeo?
So the reason why they weren't able to do this campaign
Mm-hmm.
because I have not finished Kickstarter campaign with this particular product yet.
Okay.
It means that in order for them to present, they're not a platform that create a present idea
Mm-hmm.
and fail or not fail is not up to the platform. Platform doesn't care.
Yeah.
Kickstarter doesn't care if
Mm-hmm.
you know if a product has junk in it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The lawsuit afterward, all that. Kickstarter has no. Well, you guys did whatever you wanted to do, so it's on you. It's not like that. And so that's one thing. And so based on that, Makuake will not allow new product that is not completed and to the point where a product has been already sent out to the buyer, to the backer.
I I see. I see.
When it's all done, then Makuake goes, well, you're ready.
So that product, the Forever Tumbler, is still in a developing phase. So for this
Absolutely.
reason, they weren't able of accepting it for the Makuake process.
You're right. You're right.
I
But
I see.
they
I see.
approached me because they saw my
Because of
pre-launch
that,
campaign of Foiba
I
Tumbler.
understand. I understand.
So,
And then you
you know,
proposed the other product, though.
yeah, because I couldn't do it.
I
And
see.
one of
Because
them
it
asked
was
me,
suitable. Because it was suitable for that platform.
yeah, because
Okay.
one of four asked me if I have anything else. So that's how it
I see.
started. And
I see.
I mean, the basically their price at their campaign at their platform is much higher
Mm-hmm.
than Kickstarter or Indiegogo, because what they do, they actually purchase the completed product from us.
Mm-hmm.
They multiply based on their what they have to feel for it. So
Mm-hmm.
this product is actually sold double in their platform.
Oh, I see.
They don't
Okay.
mind that. They don't mind that, because if you really consider somebody in Japan found this product in US website and decided to import it from
They
US to
still
Japan,
have to pay for the shipment, which is gonna be
absolutely,
the same. Or
yeah.
okay, I
I
got
mean,
it. I got
it
it.
costs $20 to maybe even more to send one bottle to so they can add that. Plus, since there's nothing like it there, the baka will pay for it. That's what happened. So actually, I'm selling this bottle. They're selling this bottle for what is that? $70. That's right.
$70.
Here, here
Wow.
it costs. Here you can buy this at Amazon for $32. There, and I sold 250 of them.
It's impressive, Rumio.
Yeah, it's
It's
not
really
amazing. I'm totally.
impressive.
And what's more amazing is they didn't do any pre-launch campaign.
Mm.
They didn't have a list that I'm creating here. They didn't
Mm-hmm.
have anything. They only my experience that I don't think they spent any money on advertisement.
Mm-hmm.
But the campaign that spent money on advertisement, many of them went $200,000 or more.
I see.
Because
So the campaign that actually went through a pre-launch campaign, even on that platform, managed to raise more. This is
that's
what
correct.
you're saying.
That's correct.
But your feeling is that even without a pre-launch phase on that platform, the community itself from there is gonna be more, I would say, responsive and tend to back more.
Yeah,
And
but
and
I mean,
yeah.
the as a culture as a whole,
Mm-hmm.
culture as a whole, I'm sure same thing happens some European countries too. They want good product, not necessarily cheap product.
I see.
You
So,
know,
do you think is for that the backers are gonna be more are gonna get more convinced in purchasing product on that platform because of the guarantee, the quality guarantee that the platform itself is gonna provide to them?
that's correct. That's correct.
I see.
Of
I
course,
see.
I mean, you never know until you actually have it in your hand. You know, so I'm not saying that they don't like cheap products. I mean, the cheap products all over Japan.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so there's nothing different about that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
but the market for this crowdfunding Makuake platform is like in a sense, it's like Kickstarter. Kickstarter audience backers,
Mm-hmm.
most of the time they don't really care. You know, unless if it is way beyond the price range.
Mm-hmm.
If they want it, they get it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the mentality of the
That's
crowdfunding. That's what I like
interesting.
about it.
That's
Anyway,
interesting. And some other kind of differences, for, Rumio. So, for example, are anyone able of running a crowdfunding campaign on Makuake, or do you need to respect some specific kind of requirements, or from where the majority of the backers coming from that platform? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, the presenter, okay? Presenter has to be a Japanese national.
Which is the creator, like the Kickstarter creator, for example,
No,
right?
no. The agent, you have to have an agent.
Okay.
This agent has to be a Japanese national.
I see. Okay. So you
But
can only apply with an agent.
yeah, that's how it is.
Okay. I
So
see.
I can do that. I might do it sometime down the line myself, But since I was so well taken care of, I'd rather give it away to them and
Sure.
get them to it, So so that's one thing, and also selecting, because I told you the 4 people approached me. Obviously they're a group of people who do this as their business. So 4 people approached me. I selected one. And it was very interesting because this one guy that I picked, his English. First, I received an email, right? I'm interested in you. English was so bad; it's worse than mine. Mine is bad enough, His English was so bad, you know. So, so I didn't think much of it, but I ended up talking to all 4 of them and found that this kid he's only 25. I felt sincerity from this kid. So I decided to go with him, and I'm so glad I did that. So I'm sure that many members of your group may have approached by them. I'm not sure, okay, but most likely if you have a viable product, they'll get in touch with you.
Okay.
But again, it's a personal relationship. Personal relationship.
So, so the thing that you are saying is, in order to run on this platform, you need to be a Japanese. You should be a Japanese.
Well, not necessary,
Not
because
necessary.
because they send out. Oh, if you happen to be a creator and want to run your campaign on this particular platform yourself, then
You need
answer
to
yeah.
be just a. Oh, okay, I see. Otherwise, you are gonna use an agent which is gonna be Japanese for let you do the procedure.
That's correct. But they pay everything.
Okay.
I spent zero. It didn't cost me
Very,
none.
very interesting.
And all I
And
had to do, well,
and what about the actual target of this Makuake platform? So, do you think that the majority of the backers are coming only from Japan?
that's a good question. I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know. He mentioned that he showed me a demography. My product, I mean, I thought my product will be mostly purchased by women. That was my impression, okay? But
Okay.
in contrary to my impression,
Expectation, yeah.
expectation was 50-50. Actually, there's more men than women. And where they purchased it from, I have to ask him, because now, well, after I sent my big box with all these products sorted out, right? He has to send it out, and then he'll then well he already knows who I'd actually back us from. I don't know. I'll ask him later. That's a good
But
question.
okay, that's interesting. But since the fact that the old page and the old website is in Japanese, so
No,
it's
no, no,
more. Oh, it's not only in Japanese the
no,
platform.
no. Mine is my website is English.
Okay, your Makuake page is in
Oh no, no, no.
English.
My Makuake page is in Japanese.
Okay,
So
yeah, I was referring to that.
they had to translate the whole language plus nuances, linguistic nuances, the way expression, is different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the different expression in different English languages.
Mm-hmm.
Australian says one thing means this, but
Sure,
it's not the
sure,
same
sure.
in Britain. That kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So Japanese translation of English language has to match with current culture,
Mm. Okay.
you know. And also, like we know, like in English language, the different expression based on age range, and
Mm-hmm.
also, the let's say if you're black,
Mm-hmm.
the African American or Asian American, white American, they use different languages.
Different slangs.
Yeah, different expression. Yeah, of the same thing. They
Mm-hmm.
express same thing in different way. So
Okay.
they know that. So they go through the English website or whatever. I mean, with a Kickstarter, the situation, they go through Kickstarter campaign
Mm-hmm.
in English. Then if they approach you, I like to present their product in Kickstarter in Japan. They already know what kind of language they have to use to present
Mm-hmm.
the product.
I
So
see.
what I saw, go ahead.
But still, the page is gonna be in Japanese.
Yeah, it is in Japanese.
Okay. So, since this fact, can we assume that the majority of the backers of the campaign were coming from Japan?
Not necessarily, you know,
Mm.
not necessarily. The Taiwanese, Koreans,
Mm.
Chinese, they really like to, explore what Japan can offer.
Mm.
So
Interesting.
yeah, so people, I mean, that already tell if you happen to be you know, specific national and able to understand the language of different country,
Mm-hmm.
you have to be somewhat, you know, well versed. I don't know what that. You have to be a little bit more educated.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Yeah.
Got it. Got
So
it.
so that's the point. Anyway,
So
yeah,
mostly we would say Asian countries. Can we suppose that?
yeah. The linguistic region, Western linguistic region, English, French, Italian, German, all that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's any, backers from that
Okay. So
unless if you
mostly
know.
Asian markets, we would
Yeah.
say. So if you would give an advice to another kind of a founder, another kind of creator like you, when do you think would be the right moment to approach to this kind of platform?
Well, if you already launched your campaign at Kickstarter or Indiegogo
Mm-hmm.
and you already met the goal, let's say $30,000, you only met that in the first 5 days, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
You are on it. You are
Mm-hmm.
there. You already have a successful, depends upon how much you spend,
Mm-hmm.
on advertisement. You're talking about $100,000, $200,000 additional income revenue from same product without
Mm-hmm.
you creating any campaign presentation at all. You have to provide graphics which you already have,
Mm-hmm.
in Kickstarter. Then you have to provide your product when it's done.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you have to make the price lower than what you're asking at Kickstarter.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, because you're gonna sell it wholesale.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna buy 100, 200, 500 a time. So
Mm-hmm.
they will negotiate with you, but it's not severe. It's not like
Mm-hmm.
cutthroat negotiation. Well, I mean, you're too expensive, and you should reduce your price. It's not like that.
Mm-hmm. So,
Because what
when do you think is going to be the best moment for creators to approach to such kind of platform after a successful Kickstarter or Indiegogo launch?
that would be the best time, because you already completed it.
Mm-hmm.
You already finished your job.
Mm-hmm.
But if your product is attractive enough, I'm sure you hear from them.
Mm. Okay, I see.
But
I see.
again, who you work with, a different story. I
Mm.
happened to pick the guy who
I
didn't have much
see.
experience, but he
Mm-hmm.
was so sincere,
Mm, 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 mm.
and he went through, every single step to the point,
Mm-hmm.
because Makuake had the guidelines. But one other thing, yeah, I had to mention this to you. If you apply for Makuake and got accepted,
Mm-hmm.
launch date is set. You cannot change that. So if your launch date on the
Uh-huh.
January 30th is it. And if you haven't passed all these,
Which is my birthday.
oh, you are. Great, great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you haven't passed the test,
Mm-hmm.
you know, depends on the product, because
Mm-hmm.
the test requirements differs based on what kind of category of product yours are.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it is electronics, they're different. Like if you use batteries, you know,
Mm-hmm.
they don't want a product with battery that catches fire.
So good
You know,
quality kind of products.
yeah. So that kind of stuff
Hmm. So,
they
do
have.
you think it's gonna be better approaching or get approached by them before actually shipping the products to the backers of a Kickstarter or Indiegogo campaign, or would you think it's gonna be um, madeable even before the actual shipping?
Well, the first of all, they will not approach you unless they think that your product is really hot.
Hmm.
They won't,
Okay.
So that's number one. So since they already want it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
what you have to make sure is that you can complete the shipping to the backer.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
when it's done, you're all set to go. But if you're really not sure,
Mm-hmm.
the manufacturing of it, see, that's what the weakness of Kickstarter. I mean, creators start to manufacture things after they get
Only
funded.
after that, I see.
But what if something is not quite right? It doesn't work. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
cleanup work. Can you imagine, like that product you mentioned about that? What is that? The charger. What is that device? $5 million
Oh,
in
the
US.
coolest cooler.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
So they want nothing to do with it. You know. So
Interesting.
so 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 the I think the mindset is what we should be totally aware of. The mindset we have to have to make it
Mm-hmm.
successful is that you're not going to let them take risk with you.
Mm-hmm.
Your risk is make product that actually works legit, you know
Mm-hmm.
That's our responsibility as a creator.
It's also true that as a creator, if you don't have enough money to go for the production, for the mass market production, you actually cannot, I would say, if you don't have the money for doing it, that is when you want to approach to crowdfunding, because you are gonna say that's my prototype. If you want to be part of that for the mass production, I need this amount of money, and I'm gonna raise them in crowdfunding. So it's also true the opposite, but obviously, as you were mentioning, that is gonna exposure to the backers of Kickstarter on a higher risk.
Yeah, yeah.
I see.
So
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I mean, yeah, it's a different kind of setup.
different mindset, I would say.
That's correct.
Different kind
That's
of
correct.
mindset.
But
Interesting.
yeah,
Uh, but let's go to something pretty interesting that I think that the majority of the people that are gonna listen to us is maybe are wondering how much is different the fees. So how much these guys, these agents, okay, um, are gonna take on the campaign, and even how much is the fee of the platform itself compared to Kickstarter or Indiegogo.
the Makuake charges 20% of proceeds.
Oh, 20%.
That's
Oh,
correct.
it's pretty high.
Yeah, it is really high, really high. And that, that's why they have to, they have to raise the, price to 3 times of what, I mean, 2.5 times of what I sell here.
I see.
But
I see.
I mean, I'm totally okay with it. If they buy it, sure. You know. So
It's something that you
so
can internalize, I would say.
yeah. And the partner who actually presented my product, this guy who did my
Mm-hmm.
campaign, my partner, let's say, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I can say he's my partner now. The He did okay. He did okay. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, he didn't lose money, but only money he spent was money to send out product to test facility, and also buying my 5 bottles,
Mm-hmm.
you know, at
Mm-hmm.
my cost. Because
Mm-hmm.
I gave it basically I gave it to him because he was not going to sell this anyway. He
Mm-hmm.
was going to send it out to different test facilities, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I sent out 5 units at the cost. They paid for shipping too. So
That's pretty good.
no money came out of my pocket,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and he did all the work.
That's very honest and sincere, right? As a kind of
Yeah.
approach.
Then he
Interesting.
sent me. I received my payment, 50%
Uh-huh.
first, and other 50% when I give my product box to the shipper.
I see.
Carrier.
Interesting.
So when carrier informed my partner, we received it, we are going to take it to the airport, I'm ready. Then he'll wire money, the rest of the money.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
That's
Are
how it
they
works.
gonna take care of the shipment too? Like, is
Yeah,
Makuake itself or the agent?
I think he does. Not
Okay.
Makuake. I'm not sure. I'm not
Hmm.
that stage yet, you know.
Okay. Okay. That is interesting to explore. If it's Makuake that is gonna take care of that, or only like this partner of you that is gonna do the old work.
Yeah, I'll let you know. You
Yeah,
know.
we're gonna do an edited version of this interview later on.
By the way, I gotta tell you, he's already working on same product on Campfire. He said he'll
Okay, so
launch.
you already are on Campfire now.
Yeah. He said he'll launch it either January or February.
Okay,
And
interesting.
this time, I'm gonna add new version of this.
Okay, cool. Waiting for that.
Yeah,
We're gonna add
because
all the links of your campaign and this is for the people that are gonna listen to us. I'm gonna put all the links to Rumio campaigns in the video description. So in this way, if you want to take a look at Makuake platform, to his campaign, what he created, you're gonna be able to go there in the video description and take a look. Now, Rumio, I want to ask you some more questions, especially related to your knowledge about crowdfunding before approaching to this kind of platform. So what was your experience in this field before running this campaign? Because probably the people don't know, but Rumio already launched the campaign once, right? So what was your knowledge about crowdfunding before doing it on Makuake, and also what is your knowledge now, I would say?
Well, the Kickstarter in the Indiegogo, it's tough. So much work to do, I mean, so much. How should I say this? I mean, you have to work really hard, to get successful at it. But that's just a nature. I mean, I've been in the business for many years in different kind of businesses, and creating a physical product and making it available to the large audience, you need a structure. You need a company. You cannot just get an idea and put something together, scribble on in a piece of paper, here you go, and raise money. It doesn't work that way anymore. So you have to be pretty well organized with ideally lots of money, and product is all good to go, then it's good. Otherwise, most likely you'll be, maybe you know about this more. How many percent of Kickstarter campaign fails? How many? 90%?
No. It's something around so six. I would say between 60 and 70% campaign succeed, and the rest, like I would say, around 40% of the campaign fail. Okay,
so
that is
60% of the campaign actually hits the campaign goal.
Yeah, 60-70% at least. About that was what Kickstarter declared on their website some time ago. That was the percentage. Yeah.
I'm shocked, because I thought that as much, failure ratio is much higher.
Yeah, but still, I would say 40% of failure is pretty high. Like it's 1 on 2, right? So I think that the majority of the campaigns that right now fail on Kickstarter or in Indiegogo is because they don't have a pretty good clue or knowledge on how to run stuff. Because if you run the stuff properly, you cannot fail, actually, because you know how to don't do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, so, yeah, I agree. But again, run the campaign properly. You teach this. This is this is what you do. It requires so many key points. Pre-launch campaign. Creating a large email list.
Create the community. Yes.
And it's only maximum 5% of the list becomes a buyer. And now, if you actually go through ordinary way of raising creating a large email list, it costs $1.50 to $2 per email.
Yeah, it depends on the market though, huh? It depends
Yeah,
on the
yeah, yeah,
market
yeah,
and
yeah,
also the product, because I have
yeah,
clients
yeah.
that actually are collecting emails at $0.2, 0.6, 0.8. So it depends on the market, the product, and how much good you're gonna be in improving the actual ratio,
Mm.
right? The
Yeah,
actual conversion
that's
rate.
something that I'm still,
Trying to figuring out.
yeah, I still don't know. I need I need more, I need more of your coaching. Most likely I buy 2 more sessions from you for
Cool,
that
cool.
topic altogether for sure.
Hmm, hmm.
So I missed your question now.
So the question
So
was how, like, what was your knowledge about crowdfunding before launching on that platform?
well, I didn't know I can launch the Makuake campaign, without launching the campaign with the same product here. I can launch Makuake campaign with already created product. That's a big
Mm-hmm,
deal. So
mm-hmm,
if somebody in business for, let's say, 10 years, or let's say 3 years, and already have a product not doing too well at Amazon, bare minimum, let's say,
mm-hmm.
you can still launch a campaign in Makuake, and bring in $10,000 or whatever without spending a
Interesting.
penny.
Interesting. That's
That's a good
pretty
deal, though.
interesting.
That's what happened
Interesting.
to me.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
definitely,
I
definitely.
said, great.
I
Doesn't
think
cost
that a
me
lot
any.
of creators would be interested in listening to that. Especially, I would recommend this kind of approach after successful, even a small Kickstarter, like successful Kickstarter Indiegogo launch, even after a small launch, to also get attention in the Asian markets, because it's
Yeah,
still a pretty huge market that
it is.
in the Western we didn't I would say explore yet so well.
That's correct.
Okay, and for this reason, I'm so impressed and so, I would say, enthusiastic of this kind of connection that we can create between, like, through platforms such Makuake and Kickstarter. And we can create those kind of connection to create a very big global market, which is gonna
That's right.
allow, like, creators like you and me at the time, obviously, to be present, like, be presented all over the globe, essentially, with just like a couple of pages. There is something pretty interesting of crowdfunding that
Yeah.
fascinated me so much. Okay, just to resume that this interview, otherwise we're gonna be too long. I want to ask you, how much was in your experience having, how much was important for your experience, personal experience, having an expert figure training you about, like, a crowdfunding execution, crowdfunding launch? How much would you recommend get in touch with, I would say, an expert for launching in crowdfunding their projects?
Well, this is 2021, right?
Yeah, it is still.
2021 November.
Yeah.
I had an idea of this specific product in 2018.
Like 3 years
And,
ago.
yeah, and I have to spend tons of money and time, year and a half, to make a prototype.
Mm-hmm.
So when I had a prototype, then I was ready. I'm sorry. That's when I
No worries.
contacted you.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I first found you through Fiverr.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's a journey. It's almost like you set a goal to be, let's say, a good tennis player. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you have to go through a lot of trainings. to be
Mm.
a good tennis player. Without it, you you will be swing your racket like you know what I mean. It's like that. It's very much like accomplishing something that worthwhile for you, and always
Mhm.
requires preparation. You know, learning from experts, like studying with somebody like you.
Mhm.
Completely lost and got inspired again. It's a process. But
Mhm.
if you have a creative mind, that process is given. You have to accept it. That's how it is. And no matter how tough it becomes, that's just part of it. That's just part of it. You just get it done. And when you are there, you have totally different view. The view you see from where I am even now, because I've never done any crowdfunding before, and having this small campaign raised only $12,000 done successfully, it's a completely different scene now. Plus, these Japanese the people approached me about my new product and the confidence I have for this. Man, rock solid. I know I'm gonna make it happen. So I don't know what else to tell you. I'm so inspired. And I
Love
thank you.
that.
Thank you, Mattia. You're doing a great job though. I appreciate it. And
Thanks, friend.
I buy two more sessions from you, especially for the pre-launch, pre-launch email accumulation session.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
Thanks, Romeo. That was like so lovely, and I was listening to you like so inspired as well. That I actually would not add anything else to that because all your words were so meaningful, and I think that also younger creators, younger entrepreneurs that are just starting with their projects, they can get inspired by you and your experience kind of journey and words. Okay, Romeo, thanks so much for being with us today and for sharing your experience. I'm sure that all the other creators like out there are gonna be very interested in listen to what you share with us today. And thanks so much for being here.
No problem. And wait for my Kickstarter launch on this product. It's coming soon.
Perfect, perfect. Guys, you are going to be able to review all the links that we mentioned, all the campaigns, the future, like the landing page, the Rumio landing page as well, in the video description. So make sure if you liked this video to smash like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the time that we spent together. So see you there. It was a pleasure and have a great one. Bye for now.
Bye. Thanks.